Well, I'm Pamela Wells, and I'm a sacred contract creator for Carolyn Myss, one of her students. I think we're going to talk about sacred contracts today. When we're born, we all have a contract for our life purpose and where we're going to go in our life. And it's one of those things, if you're aware of what your life purpose is, what your soul wants, who you are as an individual, it makes life so much easier, to have a map, to have something to look at to guide you. And so to make that roadmap, we start with archetypes. And let me tell you a little bit more about an archetype. An archetype it's an energy pattern. It's how people behave. Usually when I start with an archetypal reading with my clients, I'll start with a masculine archetype or a feminine archetype. The 12 archetypes I want to focus on for an individual that I sit with so much vibrance and purpose. And we either go in our shadow in it if we don't like the archetype, or we unconsciously repress it because it's not honored by culture or tribe, or we go into the light with it. I'll just give a couple of the masculine archetypes. For the men out there, a king, a prince, hermit, priest archetype. It can be a warrior archetype. So for more feminine archetypes for most women would be princess, damsel, queen, goddess, virgin, and the list goes on. So this is what's interesting, is everybody has 4 archetypes that all of humanity shares. Those 4 archetypes are the victim, the saboteur, the prostitute, and the child. And those 4 archetypes are survival archetypes: the victim, the child, the prostitute, and the saboteur. And it's really important that we get our survival foundation established. And so if you're a young person, we're working on our survival archetypes to strengthen them so we make good baseline foundational decisions. And it becomes very, very challenging to work through those for survival, but every human being has to do it. And the benefits and the bonuses of making good choices in life and thinking abundance and manifesting positivity and saying, if I stay aligned with who I really am and what my inner voices are saying and what my gut tells me, those doors open. When we don't do that, when we're only thinking in fear, or we have childlike thoughts of someone else is going to take care of me, or we sell out like a prostitute, because the prostitute archetype is really about, it's selling your soul. It's not living on purpose. In the victim archetype, the most difficult one of all for everybody, it's the top of the table. All the other archetypes, the victim, the prostitute, the child, and the saboteur, are the legs of the table. If the victim, the self-esteem is not strong, because that's the light of the victim archetype is self-esteem. The shadow is victim. I can't do it. I'm not responsible. I don't know. I don't understand. It hurts me. I'm weak. I can't. I need help. That archetype is so prevalent in our society right now. But that is the solid foundation that every human being needs, is self-responsibility, knowing who you are, what your power is, what your gifts are, what your talents are. And that foundational table will stand if you've got self-esteem enough to say, I'm going to figure out who I am, and I'm going to move forward with this, with what my calling is. It's about living what is true to you. The victim is self-esteem and its greatest light and its power. The saboteur is our choice, our power of choice. These are all powers that we're gifted, that we're given as human beings. We always have a choice. And the child is our innocence. It protects our innocence. So when we're on our like a vulnerable heart. It's our pure mind. It's our way of connecting with our true essence as these little people that we were and remembering who we are. So it's beautiful. And then the prostitute archetype is beautiful as well because it's all about faith. It's all about aligning with a higher truth. And so rather than sell your soul, you're saying to yourself, I'm going to go inside, and I know if I align with the greatest part of the highest good, you're saying to source energy, I trust in you, and that my voice, my vision, my connection with you is leading me, guiding me to a place of the highest truth. So I listen to that voice, to my high source energy.